Today we're going to be talking about 14 curious facts that you did not know about the Naruto series. And when I say you didn't know, I mean it. It's not going to be stuff like, oh, did you know that Madara Uchiha gave his Rinnegan to Nagato, and Nagato's Rinnegan is not actually his, it's Madara's. It's going to be stuff that's actually interesting and not very well known. Obviously, you're probably going to know a couple of these, but I doubt everybody is going to know every single one of these facts. Number 1. Yagura is not a perfect Jinchuriki, contrary to popular belief. Yeah, this is one of the greatest misconceptions in the entire series. Yagura is never stated to be a perfect Jinchuriki. The only information we get is that he tamed 3 tails with complete mastery, which is certainly a different thing from him being a perfect Jinchuriki. A perfect Jinchuriki is in complete harmony with his tail beast. The beast and the person work together as allies / friends, and they help each other out during fights. The only 2 people who ever achieved that are Killer Bee and Naruto after he acquires KCM2. Yagura taming the 3 tails with expertise doesn't mean they were friends, much in the contrary. He probably did something akin to Naruto acquiring KCM1, having to battle the tail beast within your inner realm, and then by defeating the beast, draining the chakra and using it for yourself. Yes, it requires a lot of ability and expertise, but it doesn't mean you're a perfect Jinchuriki, and that's why the 3 tails never breaks Yagura out of Obito's genjutsu, and Obito essentially controlled the Mist Village for a while because of it. Number 2, you can use chakra control on your feet to do other things than walking on walls and on water. We see this in the Forest of Death when Sasuke literally attaches a kunai to his foot and tosses it, swinging his leg at that rain ninja that fought against Team 7 in the very beginning of the Forest of Death. We see that Sasuke did not kick the kunai, he literally grabbed it with his chakra and then swung his leg to throw it, which, if you think about it, is far more efficient than throwing a kunai with your arms because your legs are more powerful inherently, so it's a shame nobody ever really does that again. Kakashi kicks a kunai in the War Arc in the fight against Obito, but that's a kick, you know, it's not what Sasuke did in the Forest of Death, which is a shame because that was a cool move. Number 3, even though Naruto Uzumaki is the protagonist of the series, has the most screen time and the largest amount of fights, he only dealt a finishing blow to one single enemy, which is Yura, a Jonin from the Sand Village. Yura is the guy that was being controlled by Sasori to leak information on the Sand Village and stuff like that so that he and Deidara could invade it, and then he was used to create Itachi's body double who went to fight Team Kakashi and Chiyo to stop them from getting to Deidara and Sasori's location where they were draining Shukaku out of Gaara. Now yes, Yura was mind controlled and used by the Akatsuki, but Naruto does kill the guy thinking he was Itachi, and that's literally the only person Naruto kills with his own hands. Even Kakuzu. Kakashi was the one who dealt the finishing blow with Araikiri, not Naruto's Rasen Shuriken. And White Zetsu don't count because they're not real people, so yeah, one actual kill for Naruto. Number 4, the 4th Great Ninja War only lasted for 2 days in universe, even though it spanned about 20% of the entire series, which is pretty insane. The war feels massive and long, especially in the anime because of the amount of fillers. It's much quicker in the manga, trust me, but even still, it's 2 days long. This fact is better known than most here that I'm gonna mention, but I just think it's a really interesting one if you don't know. Number 5, Shino is the only character in Naruto that has never lost a fight. Yeah, what can I say? Shino's based. Number 6, Naruto mastered perfect Sage Mode in about a week. Yeah, the time it took him to master Sage Mode better than Jiraiya himself was about a week of training, which is pretty insane. It shows how powerful Naruto is. Number 7, Hikaku Uchiha is the most talented Uchiha during the Warring States period, more talented than Madara and Izuna. Number 8, Jiraiya doesn't have a wart or a mole on his nose. That's actually a piercing, and you can see that clearly in the official colored version of the manga, or even in a couple of manga covers. It's grayish. It's the color of metal. That's a piercing. Number 9, we don't see Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan pattern the first time he is introduced when he fights against Kakashi and uses Tsukuyomi against him, because Kishimoto hadn't finalized the design for his Mangekyo Sharingan in that point of the story. So he simply chose not to show Itachi's eye when he was using the Mangekyo Sharingan in Tsukuyomi, and even Amaterasu later on in the fight against Jiraiya. Of course, the anime made a couple of mistakes there, and when Itachi was using those abilities, they showed his normal 3 Tomoe Sharingan, but in the manga, we don't see his Sharingan while he's using those abilities. And I actually like that. It gives this air of mystery around Itachi. Oh, what what do his eyes look like when he's using those jutsus? And the actual revelation for Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan pattern is very interesting and impactful because we see it through Sasuke's perspective in the flashback during the fight between Naruto and Sasuke, and Sasuke saw the Mangekyo Sharingan the day after Itachi awakened it after Shisui's death, and it's when it clicks, oh man, so Itachi killed his own friend, Sasuke is gonna have to do the same thing against Naruto here in their fights. So even though Kishimoto hadn't ready the design by the time Itachi was introduced, this enhanced the story in a way, because the way it was revealed was even better. Speaking of Kishimoto, you may have noticed, if you read the Naruto manga, that his art style changed a lot from the first chapter to the last chapter. The characters were pretty different back in the day. I mean, they were still very recognizable as the characters from the Naruto story, but you can see that the design simply changed a lot. And that's because Kishimoto saw the anime adaptation and how the Naruto characters were designed for the anime, and he fell in love with the way they were designed. He thought it was better than the way he was designing for the manga, so he changed his style to make it look more like the anime itself. The change was gradual. He changed it during the Search for Tsunade arc. It's interesting, if you read the Chunin exams and then you skip the Search for Tsunade arc and go straight to the Sasuke retrieval arc, the art style is very different. Personally, I prefer the second style, the one that looks more like the anime, but I like both. I don't have anything against the style in the beginning of the series. Number 11. Temari is 3 years older than Shikamaru. So when Temari was fighting Shikamaru in the Chunin exams, she was 15 and he was 12. Shikamaru liked older ladies, apparently. Number 12. Choji enjoys dog meat. Like, literally dog meat. Because the first time we're introduced to the character in the Chunin exams during the written test, when all the rookies are being introduced, because that's when it happens in the manga, Choji looks at Akamaru on top of Kiba's head and just thinks, oh man, he would probably be really tasty with some hot sauce. Like, what the hell, Choji? Are you insane? Are you eating dog meat? Number 13. Every time an Akatsuki member loses the Akatsuki cloak during a fight, they die in that fight. It's very interesting foreshadowing. It's as though when you lose the identity of the Akatsuki, you're dead. Now, this doesn't happen to every Akatsuki member that dies, but every time it happens, they do die, and it's for the majority. Sasori, Kakuzu, Deidara, Itachi, and Kisame, they all lose their cloaks during their fights, and then they proceed to die. Number 14. Itachi and Jiraiya died on the same day in universe. This may not be obvious for anime-only watchers because the anime doesn't intertwine the narrative as much as the manga, even though it still does quite a bit. But in the manga, we see that during the Itachi pursuit arc, Jiraiya is infiltrating the Rain Village. It's happening all at the same time. When Sasuke actually arrives to the Uchiha hideout and Itachi is sitting on the throne, Jiraiya is fighting for his life against pain. And then when Jiraiya dies, Zetsu decides to go watch the fight between Sasuke and Itachi, which was actually already happening as he was saying that. So Itachi died a few hours at most after Jiraiya died. It's very interesting, a very important day in the Naruto verse and lore, because Itachi and Jiraiya are two very relevant and powerful characters. They just so happen to die in the same day in what's one of the best string of chapters in the Naruto series. Comment down below something that you think most people may not know about the Naruto series. Also subscribe if you haven't done so already, because that really helps me out. Like the video if there was something you learned, and watch this other video on screen for more Naruto content. Trust me, it's a cool one. Thank you so much for watching.